Everyone, Merry Christmas from my family to yours. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top 10 DIY Dollar Tree Christmas decor crafts. So this is another episode in my huge I Love Christmas series. I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. And I love to share with you guys creative DIY projects using Dollar Tree supplies. And these are the top 10 DIYs for the 2020 season that you guys absolutely loved, that you recreated and shared with me on all my socials. You hashtagged me on Olivia's Romantic Home Instagram. You guys shared them in my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook group page. And so I just love seeing what you guys are up to. And so I'm going to share them again here so you guys get inspired. Maybe you can save it. Maybe you can just chill out and have some cozy Christmas vibes. But without further ado, go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. I want to share with you guys how to make a super adorable little gnome. I wanted to do a crafty DIY. You guys have to know that I just cannot help myself when it comes to doing DIYs. I actually hadn't planned on doing a major craft on this video, but anyway, so we're going to take some yarn, and I just have this little piece of cardboard, and we're going to wrap the yarn around the cardboard. This is going to be a gnome that we're going to create, and this was completely on the fly. I actually meant to do a tassel and just make a cute little tassel to go around this towel, but it ended up being a gnome. So we're just going to roll with it. Now I'm going to trim off this piece of yarn, and then what I want to do is take this one little piece and tie it around the top here to make the gnome beard. Again, this was going to be a tassel, and you can make a tassel this way as well. Or you can make a gnome beard if you're a crazy crafter like me and you look at it and think, this isn't a tassel, this is a gnome beard. And I had a pair of men's socks laying around, and I looked at the men's socks and thought, we need to make a gnome with this. So anyway, just go with it. If you guys are like me, just keep crafting, have fun with it. I've never made a gnome with a pair of socks before, so if you guys have any tips and tricks for me, definitely leave them down below. I've made several gnomes. If you guys want to check out any of my Christmas videos, they're all a little bit different and they're all a little bit funky. I don't make regular gnomes, I just craft them, and they all look very unique and a bit odd. So here's another odd gnome for you. So I'm taking a pair of Dollar Tree men's socks. I just thought these were so cute and perfect. They just screamed gnome to me. So I'm going to cut off the bottom part of the sock, and this is going to be the hat part. I'm sure this might be unconventional for anybody that's a gnome maker, but we're going to roll with it. So I'm going to fold over this top part, and that's going to give it the skinny part of the hat. I'm going to add a little dibble dabble of hot glue here and then pinch it around to the top. And here we go. Again, this is going to create the gnome part, or the gnome hat part, and then that's just going to wrap around the head. So this little poofy part you see right here can be your gnome head if you choose for it to be. And then you're just going to add a dab of hot glue. Now we're going to be using a lot of hot glue, so be careful with your fingers here. And then there was another piece of that sock. I'm just going to use that to kind of cover over where the head part was. And then I'm just going to use a big wooden bead here. You guys can really use a little poofy ball or whatever you want to make your little gnome nose, but I had a wooden bead on hand, so there we have it. Now I'm going to take this Epsom salt and dump that into the other sock because I want to make a gnome body, and I want my gnome body to be kind of like a shelf sitter. And then I'm just going to put some cotton down into here. Again, we're crafting on the fly, and I'm just creating this as I go. So I've never made one that looks like this before, so we're just having fun here. I'm going to take a rubber band and tie it off. I wanted it to be secure and for nothing to be flopping out. So we're going to tie this off, and then I did add just a little bit of hot glue to the top. Trim off that excess, and that's going to give you a little floppy, flumpy gnome body. Now I will tell you, it probably needed to be a little bit thicker because the gnome head needed to sit on there. It was okay though, it did work. My gnome beard also was a little bit wonky. You can see it was a little bit thin, so I ended up having to put some more yarn on it. But I think he looks pretty cute. robbed my studio of the gnome. I had it like a studio gnome, and then I put that underneath my Christmas tree inside my house. And so now I need a gnome for my studio that matches my studio. Anyway, I'm taking these little poofy balls from Michael's craft store. They're like little yarn poof things, and I'm adding that to the end of my gnome. I wanted to cover up the rough edge. You can make these out of yarn too. Just make some little yarn poofies or whatever you want to make the end of your little guy look absolutely adorable. So there you guys have it. He's going to be popped into my studio. Absolutely fun and fabulous on the fly little gnome. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to create a beautiful paper star using lunch bags. So we're going to take 9 lunch bags, and you're going to start with the flap up, and you're just going to take your hot glue gun or Elmer's glue, and you're going to run a T down at the bottom of the lunch bag and the center. So you can see I'm running a T down the bottom and then up the center. So down the bottom, up the center, down the bottom, up the center, and you just layer your lunch bag on top of that. So again, the little lunch bag flap is up. That little lunch bag flap that's on there, have that go up, and then T, and then lunch bag flap up, and then T. Okay, so once you guys have that all the way on there, if you're using Elmer's glue, let it dry. If you're using hot glue, that's great. It's going to dry instantly. I have to use hot glue because I have to have that instant gratification. Then at the top, you're going to just cut your little corners. Now here's the magical part. Get ready. Here we go. Oh my goodness, you fan it out and it becomes so magical. Now you're going to make another T at the very end, and then you can just hot glue those last 2 parts together. And I just stick my hands down in the little lunchbox part, and then that keeps it together. Super easy peasy. Now I'm using this beautiful dazzling jewel from totallydazzled.com. I'll leave the link down in the description box for you guys. They sell really inexpensive jewels. I popped that on to the center of my little glam snowflake. And then I'm just hot gluing right here at the top a string to hold my snowflake together. These are so gorgeous, you guys. I can't even tell you how beautiful they are. And for the price of a sack of lunch bags, you guys can make several of these. You can have your kiddos help you. You could decorate them. Oh, the other thing I know a lot of you guys do is you can buy colored lunch bags. So you can make them different colors. You can buy patterned lunch bags. I can't wait to see all the things you guys create with these. Now I want to share with you guys how you can do these with brown paper lunch bags. So original, I know, but again, this is just the same process. So we're layering these. We're going to use 9 lunch bags, and the little flap goes up. Again, you cut your little corners. I wanted to cut mine a little bit deeper this time just to see how that looked. Anyway, and I thought too it might be fun to cut like some shapes on here. I wasn't that brave, but let me know if you guys have tried that. Okay, now see, you guys can see this a little bit better this time. I just did that T right here, and then you swoop it over. Be really careful though if you're using hot glue. Definitely make sure you're helping if kiddos are doing this. Here's my little jewel from totallydazzled.com. Now they come on a brooch, so you can just pin them right to the center, and then hot glue your little hanger to the top. And voila, you have the most fabulous, fun ornament. You can hang them from chandeliers, ceilings. You can lean them up against your Christmas tree. The sky is the limit. These are so fun and fabulous, especially if you're having like a little Christmas party and you just wanted some fun, easy decor. I think they look really high end, you guys, especially with the little brooches added. And you wouldn't even necessarily have to use a brooch. You could make like a little paper flower. You could just do all kinds of decor ideas. You could even make it a memory snowflake. I shared these with you guys during the summertime, but they were so popular. So many people have requested these again. I thought we would make a snowflake. So here we have it, a snowflake for you guys. So fun and fabulous. And I cannot wait to see how you guys are doing this. So many of you all are hashtagging me on Instagram, Olivia's Romantic Home, or posting over my free little group page. I love to see all of your crafts. You guys are so creative. So I'm really excited to see how everybody does this one. I'm going going to take a plunger and 4 Dollar Tree Christmas trees, and I'm going to begin by attaching the Dollar Tree Christmas trees to the top of the plunger with my hot glue gun. I next decided to add in some of these Dollar Tree pine cone picks. So total I used 4 of the green Dollar Tree mini Christmas trees and then 4 of the little pine cone picks. Now you could use pretty much any pick, or you could leave out the pick if you wanted. What I want to create is kind of a blooming Christmas tree centerpiece, something that you would see in a really nice high-end boutique. The next step to this DIY is you're going to take some burlap or really any ribbon that you have on hand, and you're going to hot glue it to the top of your tree and then wind it down to the base, flip your plunger inside out and plunge it into your little Dollar Tree silver bucket. The next thing you want to do is add in some rocks or something weighted into your bucket because the trees do make it a little bit heavy at the top. Then I wanted to take 2 pieces of the Dollar Tree styrofoam and then just pop those into my bucket. And then I added a little bit of moss and some hot glue to get my moss to stay. And that was going to give my tree just some added bit of zhuzh to the base of the tree. Now, speaking of zhuzhing, this is the part of the DIY that you really need to dig your hands in to the center part of this tree and zhuzh these branches out. That's going to make your centerpiece look really fun and fabulous and much more realistic. So really work those branches nicely. Now, Dollar Tree is carrying these large pine cones. I went ahead and popped a couple of them in. I also popped in a package of the Dollar Tree cedar picks. Can you believe Dollar Tree is carrying so many fabulous designer inspired decor pieces? I have just been over the moon with their choices. I also popped in some little red berries. Now I actually got these from Walmart, as well as 2 of these poinsettia picks. They're little buffalo check plaid. They're 98 cents at Walmart. Run to your local Walmart and grab some before they sell out. Now the next part of this DIY, I'm going to make a quick little easy bow with my easy bow maker. This easy bow maker is available at Amazon, Michael's Craft Store, or the cheapest place is Deco Exchange or Michael's Craft Store. Use your coupon. I don't sell them. I just love it because it makes it easy, especially if you have problems with your hands like I do. Now I'm starting out and I'm making a rather small bow. I'm going 4 inches on either side with my bow, and then I'm going even smaller with the loops. So just barely an inch smaller until I get to the very smallest. So 4, 3, and almost like 2. So it really got really small at the very end, but my tree really isn't that big. I didn't want to overwhelm the tree with too big of a bow. Now I'm taking my pipe cleaner and tying it off, and I believe I only made about 3 loops for this bow. I know, surprising. I usually make 5 to 6, but here it is. Again, I didn't want it to be too totally crazy, but you guys go for it. Use whatever ribbon you have on hand. Now I will recommend that you go ahead and go to Hobby Lobby. You can shop online or in store, and they have 50-yard rolls of ribbon. That's going to get you really far if you're doing a lot of decor pieces with ribbon, and it's only about $9.99, and you can use your coupon and get it for about $5. So that is going to give you a lot of life with your ribbon work. So I'm just tying it on to my little centerpiece here, and check it out. You guys, how cute is this with the buffalo check plaid picks at the top? Really, you guys even could make some little poinsettia picks, which I'm actually going to show you how to DIY those in a couple of DIYs in this video. But how fun and fabulous, and nobody would know that this is a Dollar Tree plunger and a couple of those mini trees and some pine cones. This is a very fabulous decor piece on a teeny tiny budget. It would be perfect next to your Christmas mantle, or maybe a centerpiece of your dining room table, just really anywhere that you wanted to spruce something up. Do it on a budget. Share with you guys how to make a beautiful, elegant centerpiece. I'm going to take this Dollar Tree charger and some Dollar Tree styrofoam and hot glue it to the center of the charger. Here is how that should look like. And then I'm going to take 2 of the Dollar Tree mini trees and pop them into either side of the styrofoam. And a little side note here, add some hot glue before you pop them into the styrofoam. I learned that the hard way and had to go back in and do that. The next thing I want to do is take these 4 Dollar Tree little pipe cleaners, and I'm just going to cut them in half. I'm going to be making some Deco mesh bundles, and I want to really fill this out. Now, you don't necessarily have to use Deco mesh on this project, but I thought it would just give it a nice full fluffy look. So I'm going to take and I'm going to cut my Deco mesh about 12 inches long. And if you can't find the Dollar Tree Deco mesh, that's okay. You can run to the craft store or order some online, and you'll do just fine with any Deco mesh, really. Now I'm just going to take and I'm going to make a little burrito or a little curlicue here. So you're just going to wrap it into a little curlicue. I say you wrap it like a little burrito. So just curl it up, and there's no magic method to this, you guys. Just wrap it up like you'd be making your kiddos a breakfast burrito. So here I've got 2 little breakfast burritos. I'm pinching them in between my fingers, and then I'm going to make one more little burrito here, and here we go. They make the most adorable little curlicues, and then you can take your pipe cleaner and just take it, and you're going to twist tie all your little curlicues together. Now, if you have problems with your hands, you can use a chip clip, and that will hang on to your little curlicues so they don't pop out. And here is how that should look like. Now I'm going to go ahead and really quickly make tons of bundles here. So I ended up using 4 rolls of the Dollar Tree Deco mesh. And again, if you don't have that mesh, that's totally fine. Grab some from the craft store. Even Walmart is carrying this cute little buffalo check plaid Deco mesh. So here is what I was talking to you guys about, where I had to go back in and hot glue those little mini Christmas trees to either end of my styrofoam. Now I'm going to take and I'm going to begin to add the Deco mesh into my little Christmas tree branches. And another little side note, if you can't find the Dollar Tree mini Christmas trees, you guys could always just use some evergreen garland. Just pop that in, or just whatever you guys have that's greenery, really. I have used so many different things for greenery. As you guys can tell by most of my DIY videos, I get really creative. Now I'm taking and I'm crossing the little evergreen branches over on the Deco mesh. So you place the Deco mesh down, you find 2 little evergreen branches, and then cross them over on themselves. You can also use those pipe cleaners to tie them on, and then this is how that will look once you get several of the little bundles in there. And I'm going to go ahead and continue to work my way from the inside of the centerpiece and go to the outside. So I'm kind of alternating, moving back and forth to where the bundles are somewhat evenly distributed along the little centerpiece. And this is really fun and fairly foolproof, you guys. Just have fun with it. Fluff out those bundles. It does not have to be perfect because we're going to add loads of ribbon and ornaments, but the Deco mesh is going to give your centerpiece a nice full fluffy look, which you guys know I love full fluffy arrangements. So continue to add those pretty little Deco mesh bundles until you get to the end. And then this is how it should look once you have all your pretty Deco mesh bundles added. The second step to this DIY is to make a big, beautiful, fluffy bow. I'm going to use this value ribbon that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to make a quick little Olivia bow. So I measured from my hand to my elbow the length of my bow, and then I'm just going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself. So this is about a 12-inch long bow. I'm just going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself, and I do that about 6 times or until I can count about 3 loops on each side. And once you have those loops, you can go ahead and just cut that ribbon tail off. So you guys can see that I'm counting to make sure that I have adequate loops, and then I'm just going to cut that little ribbon tail off. Now you can find your center and you can cut a little notch in the center, or you can just pinch it together and then add your little pipe cleaner here and then twist that on. And the next thing you want to do is to fluffy out your bow. And you guys know that this is my favorite part, and the part that I always tell you guys to really give your bow a really nice, good, healthy fluffing. And always try to use wired ribbon as well. This value ribbon from Hobby Lobby I got at 50% off, and right now is the best time to buy Christmas ribbon, or really any ribbon at the craft stores, especially the holiday ribbon, and even look for it after Christmas. It's at a huge deep discount. Now you can find another little tail that's going to be nestled up inside of your bow. Go ahead and dovetail those ends, which I mean by dovetailing, cut a little triangle in there, and that will give you a really pretty little bow. Now I'm taking the end of a little floral stem. I bent it in half, and then I'm just going to use that to secure my little bow onto my styrofoam piece. So I'm hot gluing either end. Be careful, that's a little tricky right there with the hot glue. And then pop that into your styrofoam piece. And that's going to secure your bow onto your piece of styrofoam. And then you can give it another nice little healthy fluffing because you don't want to see that styrofoam. So really fluffy out those little loops there. And then once you have that done, this is how it should look. You've got your pretty bow on, and we are going to make another bow for the other side as well. Now I want to take a little bit of gold ribbon and again some more of that pretty tartan plaid ribbon, and I'm going to weave that in between some of the little branches just to kind of give it a little bit of oomph and a little bit of sparkle and shine, and to really make it kind of glamorous and fancy. So I'm just tying it on right in here. You could also secure it with some wire, but I'm just going to cross the branches over on itself, and I'm taking two of the ribbons and I'm just going to begin to wind them in and around these little branches. So I'm going to make about an 8-inch poof here with my little ribbons, and then nestle it down inside of your Christmas tree branches and then cross them over on themselves. And if you're doing a garland, you can just use your little evergreen branches again and then just cross them over on themselves. And then I'm going to kind of twist and pull, make another little poof, and then find some more branches and then cross them over on themselves. And then you are going to want to find that pretty gold ribbon and just pull it out to where it can kind of peekaboo out from the pretty plaid ribbon. I really feel like this is a very traditional look, very home for the holidays. And for some reason this year, I have just been in the mood for vibrant reds, and I have been loving it, and I hope you guys are here for it. Now, another idea for you all is if you're doing different colors, use the ribbon that you're decorating with. So just imagine this with your beautiful ribbon that you're using for your home decor colors. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to add some beautiful ornaments. I'm going to take this little Dollar Tree styrofoam ornament, and I popped a shish kebab stick into it. You guys can see I hot glued a shish kebab stick into the end of it, and then hot glued that end, and then that made it to where I could poke that big ornament down into there easily. That's my little hack for you guys. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is add some big pretty pine cones. Dollar Tree was selling these big pine cones this year, and they're all glittered and just amazing. Another little hack I have for you is to make an ornament bundle, and I got this from my dear friend Ramon at home. You just take the little pipe cleaner, run some ornaments through it, and then tie that in to your centerpiece or your wreath or your garland, and that's really going to give that a nice high-end look on a budget. And you guys, I am using ornaments that are floating around in the bottom of my totes. I really want to get these ornaments out and really use them. So I'm going to just go ahead and add in some berries and some more pretty ornaments, and I really feel like it's looking absolutely fabulous, and we're doing this on a teeny tiny budget. I think the most we spent really was on the ribbon, and again, I got that on a discount, so I think it was about $5 for that giant roll. So definitely right now is the time to check out those great ribbon deals. And I'm adding in some of those Dollar Tree cedar picks. You guys, Dollar Tree just killed it this year on their goodies, and this is how this side should look. Now I went ahead and added the ornaments and all the goodies to the other side, and then here is that other bow that I told you guys we were going to add into the center part of the opposite side of our centerpiece because we want it to show off and be fabulous from both sides. That way when we put it onto our dining room table, it'll just be glamorous and wonderful. I am popping in some of these little Dollar Tree buffalo check plaid Christmas tree ornaments onto the side just to give it a little bit of peekaboo right there. And then Dollar Tree has these present ornaments, and they are great little risers. You guys have seen me use these before. I just pop the little red top off. I'm adding hot glue to the base of this, and then I'm going to pop it into the centerpiece, and then I'm going to use this flickering flameless candle. Now you guys have to check these out. They're on Amazon. I'll link them in my Amazon store, but they come in a 3-pack and they're battery operated. They're great if you have grandkids or pets, and they're super safe. And look at how realistic it looks. So beautiful and glamorous. And they come on a timer, which is the best part. So it's a remote control battery operated timer. And then here is how our beautiful, elegant, glamorous home for the holidays traditional centerpiece looks. And I am loving all these vibrant colors. Comment and let me know what you all think about this. But I think it just looks fabulous. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to take 2 Dollar Tree Santa placemats and I want to make a no-sew Dollar Tree pillow. These are so fun and easy to make. You're just going to take your hot glue gun and run it down the front part of your Santa pillow. Okay, you guys, this is such a wonderful way to make a pillow. Now listen, if you guys can sew, definitely sew this with your sewing machine. Now you want to take the back side of your Santa pillow because you basically want to do this kind of inside out, because you're going to inside this out and then stuff it. Okay, so the other thing is tip for you guys is to make sure that you get your hot glue really thick through here and make sure that you really press it down because you want to get that really, really, really good on there. You don't want your pillow stuffing to come out. I'm going to run it down this short side again, and I'm even going to take my scissors and press it down really, really, really good. This thick fabric is probably the best fabric to use to make a no-sew hot glued pillow. Listen, I've been making these pillows for years. They work perfectly great. It's a $2 pillow, especially if you already have the stuffing at home. So trust me when I tell you guys that these make great little throw pillows for holiday pillows. Okay, and if you're worried about washing them, just put them in a little basket or pop them on to a little bed or a sofa and spot clean them. You don't have to keep them for 10 years. I don't. I'll keep them for a year or two, and then I'll change them out. That's how I do with them. I spot clean them and I go on about my business. So don't worry about it, you guys. It's just a little tossed pillow. You can even just take the placemat and, hot glue it to the front of a pillow that you already have. So just the sky is the limit. Let's not get our feathers in a ruffle about how to wash this little pillow. Anyway, but if you guys want to go all out for it, add a zipper, sew it if you want to. Now, here's the next step. Take some pillow stuffing and stuff that baby. Make it nice and puffy and full. You're going to wiggle your hand around in there really good and make sure you get lots of stuffing in there. The next thing that you want to do is you want to take those ends and tuck them under. This is the hardest part of doing this pillow. It's the only part that I will tell you it's a little bit tricky. You're going to want to go really slow on the ends. I always do really good at the beginning and go slow, and then I get impatient and try to do too big of an edge on the end. Don't do that. Just try to keep going really, really slow. Be very careful. You might want to wear finger protectors if you're doing this project because it is easy to burn yourself. I have really tough fingers. I've been hot gluing for years. I had an Etsy shop where I did a ton of wreaths, so I don't think I have much feeling in my fingers anymore. Plus I have neuropathy, so I don't think I have much feeling in my fingers. So it doesn't bother me when I burn my fingers. Really, it truly doesn't. But if you're sensitive, definitely wear little finger protectors or just go really slow and be careful. You could even use a low temp glue gun. The high temp does hold better, I will tell you that. Also, my glue gun I do get off of Amazon. I'm going to link it in my Amazon store. I have an Amazon store where I just link things for you guys that I love to purchase. You guys can see that my glue gun and scissors, they have a ton of glue and paint on them. It's because I use them a ton every day, and these are my tried and true. I love these. I love this glue gun. It's really durable, heavy duty. It's got the stand and all that good stuff. Here's how my pillow came out. Check this out. Okay, so Hobby Lobby is really showing a lot of this look. To me, it kind of looks like a little bit kind of like the 90s when my mom used to decorate with that country living style. It's like that home for the holidays, cozy feel. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I have to share with you guys the simplest, fun little DIY. So take one of those Dollar Tree mugs. This is the little polar bear mug. And then I know you guys have some leftover ribbon spools. They fit perfectly into the Dollar Tree mugs. So you're going to pop the end of it off and then hot glue it into the top. Now make sure you hot glue something into the spool part. And then you're going to use some of the DAP featherweight spackle. You want to use featherweight spackle because it's going to make a lot nicer of a top. And then I needed to make sure that I really hot glued my little topper in there. And then I'm going to make like a hot cocoa little faux thing for my coffee bar or my hot cocoa bar. I love having these, and year to year I usually do end up changing them out. And what I love about this is because I'm using the little topper here, I can easily pop this out. so I can store it and then probably remake a new one for next year. I don't know that I'll keep this one. I can't remember last year if I stored mine, or I'm making a new one though for this year for sure. So it's nice and fresh. Anyway, so you're going to use your little Dollar Tree crafty knife, and you're just going to begin to spread it around. And you can also go in and use a piping bag and then pipe some pretty whipped cream if you want to. You can also use your little quick seal, which I'm going to use to make like a little pretty little faux kind of whipped cream, whatever floats your boat and how you want to make your whipped cream. These are so fun to make, and kiddos can make these. My daughter several years ago helped me make a bunch of fake cakes. So she's a teenager now and not quite as interested in making fake cakes with me, but it was so fun to do. So if you have kiddos, this is a fairly easy thing to do. Just make sure if they're really little that, you know, they know that this isn't something that they can be eating. So this is that quick seal, or I think that, you know, maybe this is something that you would use to seal a sink with. This is in like the automotive section at the Dollar Tree. I actually ordered this online so I could get a larger a bottle of it, but I'm just going to use this to kind of give it a little bit of topping on the top, and it looks kind of realistic. I did have to cut the top a little bit thicker than I was using in the earlier craft when you guys saw me doing the gingerbread. But there it is. I'm pretty pleased with myself. Sometimes I can get to be a little bit of a perfectionist, but I'm pretty proud of this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna use my little straw. You can get these straws at the Dollar Tree. They usually have them out the 4th of July. You may be able to find some now. They also have them in the party section at Walmart. I just clicked my little top off, and then I decided to add a little bit of cinnamon to the top. And how cute is this? It looks so realistic. Oh my goodness. It's going to be so cute for my coffee, hot cocoa bar. Oh my goodness, this is putting me in such the mood for some happy holidays, hot cocoa, Hallmark movies. I want to create a really elegant, beautiful kind of glam winter wonderland wreath. I'm going to take this wreath base. I found this frosted wreath base at Walmart. It was $12.99, and then I'm going to take 2 rolls of the Dollar Tree Deco mesh. It's white and then also the gold, and I'm just taking them together, and then I'm going to add them into the wreath. So I'm making about 12 to 14 inch poofs, and I'm just taking the evergreen and I'm wrapping them over on themselves, and then pulling a little poof out, and then taking the evergreen branches and wrapping them over on themselves. And I'm doing this just to give the wreath a little bit of zhuzh, but I really don't want to add too much of the deco mesh because this frosted evergreen wreath base is just so beautiful, and I really want it to show off, especially with this kind of frosted look that I'm going for, just kind of this soft winter glow. And I'm going to be adding in some pretty ornaments and also some beautiful ribbons. Now here is what my wreath looked like after I added the mesh, and really the mesh is optional. You could always just add some ribbon or leave out that part. I'm also going to give my mesh a good fluff-a-duff. That helps it really kind of stand on end, and you guys, I really do like a very extra kind of fluffy wreath. And the next thing I want to do is measure out my Dollar Tree ribbon. Now this is the Dollar Tree ribbon that is not wired, and I'm just going to measure from my hand to my elbow, and then I'm going to take the ribbon and loop it over on itself. This is what I call the Olivia bow. I created this bow out of a need to make a bow that was super duper easy, and because I honestly cannot make a bow or could not make a bow. I think I've gotten a little bit better now, but you're just going to take this ribbon and loop it over on itself, and I use the entire roll of Dollar Tree ribbon when I'm making a wreath. And then you're going to find your center, and then what I want to do, I'm going to cut a little notch in each side of this ribbon. I want to give my ribbon and my pipe cleaner something to grip onto, especially because this ribbon is not wired, and I want to pull these ribbon loops out to make a nice full fluffy bow. So I'm taking a pipe cleaner, and I'm going to take the pipe cleaner and just wind it, and just kind of wind it around the center part until I get a couple of twists here, and then I can go ahead and pull those ribbon loops out. And this is going to be the secret to your bow, is pulling those ribbon loops out and and make sure you get each ribbon loop out, give it kind of a little bit of a twist and a good fluff of duff. Now, you don't really have to panic with some of this Dollar Tree ribbon. It's nice and stiff, and so it really holds its bow shape very nice and well, but you do have to play with it a little bit until you get a nice shape. And then you can create some little tails. Now, I do have some Hobby Lobby ribbon on hand that had the same pretty blues in it, so I'm going to make the same style ribbon. Again, you're just going to take the ribbon and wrap it over on itself. So you continue to do that. I do this 6 times or until I have 3 loops on each side. And this ribbon also is wired. I got this on discount at Hobby Lobby. Hey, you guys, check your local craft stores right now. They have holiday ribbon, and a lot of it is very friendly to a winter wonderland. And also think about Valentine's Day crafts. That red ribbon is going to work great for that Valentine's Day crafts. So think ahead, guys. Now you can take a pipe cleaner and just wrap it over on itself. Give it a nice little twist here. I did make this ribbon a little bit bigger than my first bow because this is going to go back behind my Dollar Tree ribbon. Okay, now I'm going to attach it to my wreath very soon here. I'm just checking it out, making sure it's large enough. We have to have a nice big full fluffy bow. So I'm going to take all these loops and pull them out. Now I did detach the pipe cleaner from this bow because I have a trick I'm going to show you. It's a nice little hack. I'm not sure if I've showed this hack to you guys yet, but this is another fun little way to create some awesome tails. So with this bow, I only have one really long tail, but we're going to give this bow a nice big long tail. I'm going to show you guys how. You're going to take a piece of ribbon and just wind it out really, really far because we want a big, pretty nice long tail. Cut this ribbon off, and then what I want to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to tie these 2 bows together. So our Dollar Tree bow, it still has its pipe cleaner. Here's the original pipe cleaner from the Dollar Tree bow. You're going to attach that to the other big fluffy bow. And that's going to make it look like, wow, you're this massively awesome bow maker, which you are. You've learned how to make a bow. It's super easy. So once that's attached, then you take this tail, wrap it around your wreath, and the center point of both your ribbons, because your ribbons are now all attached together, you just tie your bow on really tight with that tail. So you've given your ribbon a tail and you've found your way to attach your bow. So this works really well with ribbon that's just kind of easy to work with. It's not going to fray easily. I don't do this all the time, but this is a little hack I wanted to share with you guys. If you have kind of this silky, easy to work with ribbon, which this ribbon happens to be easy to work with. Again, I don't do this all the time, but I thought I'd show you guys something fun and new. Okay, the next thing I want to do is add in some pretty little kind of winter wonderland ornaments. Again, I want to show you guys some transitional pieces. We've done a lot of red decor. I love it. My house is decorated in a ton of red. But for everybody's doing kind of some winter wonderland, champagne golds, this is really a beautiful idea. And I do have some of this left over in my stash from some of my past ornaments and different whatnots. So I'm just going to hot glue these big pretty ornaments into this wreath, and I'm just going to kind of space them evenly, putting one at the top, one at the side, one at the base. And again, these, I didn't go out and spend any money on any of these guys. So dig into your craft stash, see what you guys already have to do some winter wonderland stuff. And hey, if you don't have these on hand, paint some of your red ornaments white. Now let's add some romance to this wreath, and we're going to add in some beautiful roses. These roses you can pick up on Amazon, 30 of them. Now they are foam, but hey, unless somebody's going to come up and call the rose police on you, I'm not opposed to using foam roses. They look really realistic and they're beautiful. Pop those into your beautiful arrangements, and you can use them alongside some more realistic looking roses. I'm a fan. So order them on Amazon. I have them linked in my Amazon store. Now pop some little cute Dollar Tree blue ornaments in, and that's going to tie in your blue. I don't decorate with a lot of blue, so I don't have a lot in my craft stash. If I do more, I may get some blue paint out and maybe paint some blue ornaments, and that might be an upcoming DIY you guys may see me do. But I'm going to kind of fake some of the blue look with some silver ornaments, and I'm trying to look at my ribbon and pull some of those colors as well. So I'm popping in some silver and some of that kind of burnished gold, and I did end up adding kind of some burlap colors as well. And here is what my lovely winter wonderland champagne blues and gold wreath looks like. Listen, I have never done a lot of blue, but I am absolutely in love with this. I think it's fabulous and beautiful, and I think I may be giving this to my son's girlfriend, Skylar. We did a DIY together a couple of weeks ago, and she chose this blue, so I'm thinking she may actually really like this. I hope she doesn't see this video, but I think that she might be able to use this in her bedroom and hang this on her wall, or maybe in her bathroom. I think it would be really beautiful. So I'm thinking because she chose this ribbon when she did a bow, she may really like this. I want to share with you guys how to create a super easy piece of wall art using an old thrift store frame and this Dollar Tree doormat. So you're just going to take your doormat and an old thrift store frame. I have this one. I picked it up at the thrift store for $2. I chalk painted it white, and then I'm just going to take the doormat and staple gun the doormat to the frame. You can always reinforce the back of the doormat with a piece of foam board or even some cardboard. So just staple the edges of it, and then voila, you guys have a super easy piece of art. Check this out, you guys. The sky is the limit. Pick up pretty much any doormat, and you guys have a super creative idea. Now, here's what you guys would want to do if you wanted to reinforce it and make it just a little bit less flimsy, because that doormat can be a little bit flimsy, and you guys can see along the edge there wasn't quite a bit of it didn't quite fit all the way to the edge, but if it's hanging on the wall, you guys can't quite totally tell. So check this out. And I didn't realize I had scissors in my back pocket, but hey, I'm a DIY mama. So here is how it looks on my wall next to my little Christmas tree area. And what do you guys think? I hung it to the left of my tree. So here it is on the left-hand side of my tree, and then here it is on the right side of my tree. And I did have somebody comment and say that this wall seemed a little bit blank or bare. And a lot of you guys ask about the screensavers on my TV. They're just YouTube videos. So you guys can look up Christmas music, and you find a ton of like little really pretty like Christmas like kind of screensaver music art. So to attach my garland to my mantle, I do have two small nails on either end of my mantle, and they're kind of long, so I'm just able to kind of twist the garland around it. But I really do recommend you to use command hooks or command strips. That way you have damage-free hanging. They were already on there. Recently, I've started using command strips or command hooks, and they're just so much better for your furniture or your decor pieces, whatever it is that you're trying to hang things on. So also it's a good idea to go ahead and try to fluff every branch. That's going to make even a puny garland appear a little bit more full and fluffy. Hold on. It's time for it to reappear. The next step for this garland is to use some Dollar Tree Deco mesh. So luckily, since I'm going with the glam style, in my Christmas crafting stash, I had some Dollar Tree wide Deco mesh in the white color, and I had 2 half rolls, and I'm guessing they were left over from my big Christmas trees. Now you guys, it's towards the end of the Christmas crafting season, so I'm really going to push myself to use what I already have. Even though this was a new garland, it was only $2.97 at Walmart. And again, I really did feel like my studio was empty after I had given away all my Christmas supplies, and I did want to just jazz it up for you guys just a little bit, so it didn't look completely bare. So I'm going to take this Deco mesh, and I'm going to cross the evergreen branches over on the Deco mesh, and I'm crossing them over twice. And then I'm going to pull that Deco mesh out in about 12-inch loops or poofs, and then I'm just going to continue to do that as I work my way down the garland. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm going to share with you guys a fun idea for how to take this Dollar Tree gold ribbon and some of the bling wrap and kind of take them and wrap them together to create a really beautiful kind of bling wrap ribbon decor piece that you can wrap onto your Deco mesh garland here. So this is kind of like a Dollar Tree garland. So what you want to do, these are both 9 foot, but not all Dollar Tree ribbon is created equal because they didn't end up being even. So what you want to do is you want to start from the center of your ribbon. So I'm starting from the center, and I tried to make them as even as possible. And you want to take and twist tie the garland over on it, and then you want to gently pull these little poofs kind of out. So gently pull the ribbon, and your rhinestone ribbon or your shiny blingy ribbon is kind of just laid gently on top of your gold ribbon, and you're gonna have to play with it. Like that gold ribbon does not want to have something on top of it, so you're gonna kind of have to play with it and pull it, and anyway, you can invest in some high-end ribbon, but we're doing this on a budget, and plus I did have this left over in my stash. I want to use what I have and also share with you guys how to do this on a budget. Now also think about Valentine's Day. If you want to do a bling garland, you guys can replace this with red, or say you're still decorating with red for Christmas. I'm here with you. I still have red going on in my home as well. Put that over your red decor. Use this to suit whatever colors you're decorating with. I just want to give you guys some more ideas. I didn't do a whole lot of glams. I did a lot of red this season for you guys, so I thought, hey, I'll show you guys some glam. Now, I am going to take these gold ornaments. Again, these are from Dollar Tree. They're the large oversized gold ornaments, and I'm just going to sprinkle them about kind of evenly throughout the garland. Because this is such a deep mantle, I really don't need to attach them, so I'm just going to kind of place them in and around. Now I'm taking some Dollar Tree silver poinsettias. I did pick these up new at Dollar Tree. I want to share with you guys a wreath with these, or a garland, so I thought a garland would be fun. I'm taking these and just bending the stems back and then pushing them into the garland to kind of fill out that garland. Dollar Tree has very little left over in the way of holiday stems, and so silver was left over, so I went with silver. I thought that would be pretty and sparkly and oh so fabulous on a budget. Now we're going to do a quick little Olivia bow, and by Olivia bow I mean you just take the ribbon and loop it over on itself. I know that this bow is maybe familiar to some of you. I call it Olivia bow so you guys have a reference point when you're watching my videos. And then once you loop it over on itself about 6 times, you can find the center of it, and then just take a pipe cleaner and pinch your ribbon together. Take the pipe cleaner, wrap it around itself, and then you can trim that ribbon off. Dovetail your ends. By dovetailing your ends, I mean just cut a little triangle in the end, because you want to have your ribbon ends be nice and pretty. Now, here's the secret to your bow. Fluff your ribbon. Don't make a pretty bow and forget to fluff your ribbon loops. Pull each loop out, give it a nice good fluff-a-duff before you put it on your wreath or garland. So see, I fluffed it first this way, but then once you put it on to whatever wreath or garland you're making, you have to fluff that bow again, because it's going to be rumpled and crumpled a little bit just from you having moved it around. And then you have to really almost fluff it again after you fluffed it the second and third time. We're going to take some of these beautiful sparkling ornaments, and can we just talk about these ornaments? They have little mirrors on them, and they sparkle and shine. They are so high end for only $1. I picked them up every single season, and I never get tired of them. They are always so beautiful. I always use them in almost any arrangement, garland. I just think they're so beautiful. I love them. I don't know. I think the older I get, the more something sparkly catches my eye. Are you guys there with me? I don't know what it is about sparkly things. I feel like I need a bumper sticker that says I break for sparkly things, or sparkly things catch my eye, or I don't know. It's like really the truth. Like I see something sparkly and I completely stop and have to look at it. So we're doing a lot of sparkle and shine. Now what I'm doing with this is I'm just taking and I'm looping the little ornament hanger around it, and then I'm twisting the ornament around that branch to try and kind of hide that hanging. I don't want to see that ornament hanger there. I hope that makes sense for what I'm talking about there. So I'm just kind of sprinkling them in and around the garland, because I didn't have enough really to like completely overfill this garland. I just had a couple floating around in my ornament box, but I did want to give it that extra pizzazz and that extra goodness. Now on this side of my garland, I did end up adding another Olivia bow, and this is just kind of a thin sheer gold bow. It's one of those Hobby Lobby ribbons that comes $9.99. They're 50% off now, and there's like 75 or 100 foot on the actual ribbon roll. You guys, look for these ribbon rolls to go on deep, like 80%, 90% discount after Christmas. Buy them when they go on that discount. They're so cheap. They're almost Dollar Tree prices, and you get so much ribbon, and you can just tuck them back in your ribbon stash. You can even use a little bit of the red ribbon for Valentine's Day, but then hold on to them because you can use them. I bought this last year, so I'm using it just now, and they're so cheap. To get started decorating my designer inspired tree, I'm going to take pieces of a ribbon that I've cut into 4.5 foot strips, and I'm just going to start at the top of my tree. I'm using the evergreen branches, and I'm crossing the branches over on top of the ribbon, and I'm going to wind the ribbon down the tree. I chose wired ribbon, and this ribbon is from Dollar Tree. I chose a sparkling red ribbon and then 2 different checkerboard pattern ribbon. This ribbon they actually had out during the fall season. If you cannot find it now at the Dollar Tree, you could order it on Amazon, or you could also find it at Hobby Lobby. I'm going to wind it in kind of a cascading waterfall pattern, and you can just kind of pull it in and around the tree. I also want to let you know that this is a 6.5 foot flocked tree from Walmart. So you can see I'm just kind of pulling the little loops out, and I would say my loops are about 10 to 12 inch loops. Now I'm going to start in a different section, and again I'm using 4.5 foot pieces of ribbon that I pre-cut. Now if you have a taller tree, you may want to cut longer pieces of ribbon. Again, I am using wired ribbon, and this ribbon is from the Dollar Tree, so you do not have to break the bank and buy super expensive ribbon to create this designer inspired look. Now again, I'm using 4.5 foot pieces of ribbon, and I'm using 3 ribbon pieces together. Again, I'm kind of cascading them in a waterfall somewhat pattern, and you can tell it looks, I would say, a little bit of a hot mess right now, but bear with me because we're going to make this all come together. So now I'm starting on the other side of my tree, and I'm making it kind of meet up with the little spots that I've already cascaded down one side. So I cascaded down and I went to the left, and then now I'm cascading down and going to the right. So you just kind of want to create a little bit of a crisscross pattern, and it does not have to be perfect because we are going to layer so many beautiful ornaments on. You're not even going to see really the ribbon pattern after you're done. Now I'm using some Dollar Tree poinsettia picks, and I believe I used about 5 to 6 picks, and I'm not cutting them apart. I'm just popping them into the tree, and these are the smaller kind of poinsettia picks. You just pop them into the tree, and it's going to create this beautiful burst of color. So again, you do not have to use high-end designer picks to create a really beautiful tree. Go to Dollar Tree, pick out some beautiful picks, which they really do have some beautiful picks out right now. Now the picks that I chose are just the Dollar Tree poinsettia picks, and they're the ones that have kind of a really pretty, almost a velvet feel. So I used 4 bundles in my tree, and then I'm just pushing some bundles into the top part of the tree. Now comes the favorite part to make a big beautiful bow. So I'm taking the ribbon and I'm measuring from the top of my hand to my elbow to create my bow, and then I'm just going to loop the ribbon over on itself. And for a reference point, if you're new to my channel, this is what I call the Olivia bow. So I'm going to loop the ribbon over on itself a total of 6 times, or 3 times on each side of my bow. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to link a big bow video down below for you guys if you need help making bows. So you can see I'm counting my loops, and again, I want to have 6 loops. Or if you guys only have a certain amount of ribbon, that's okay too. Again, this is all Dollar Tree ribbon. Now, this black and white check ribbon is actually from Hobby Lobby, but Dollar Tree did have that black and white check ribbon. I used so much of it during the fall, though I did end up running out. Now, I'm finding the center of my bow, and I'm going to cut 2 little notches, one on either side of my ribbon. Very, very tiny notches. You don't want to cut too far into your ribbon because your ribbon will fall apart. The notches are important because it'll help your pipe cleaner have something to hold on to. Now, bear with me. I'm going to do some super fun holiday dancing, ribbon dancing, or maybe awkward mom dancing, really, because I'm listening and jamming out to some Van Morrison, or I'm really not quite for sure, but definitely some 70s music while I'm making my ribbons. Okay, so again, I'm just doing the same type pattern here where I'm measuring the ribbon the length of my arm, and I'm going to do some more dancing here, but I'm basically just going to layer these ribbons all together. So again, find your center, make some little notches, and then you're going to use a pipe cleaner to tie this all together. So here we go. We're going to layer this on top of your last little bit of ribbon. And what we're doing is we're going to create a Christmas tree topper. This is what I love to do. I love to create a big bow on top of my trees. And I'm going to make this underneath my poinsettia topper. Okay, so again, I just measured the length of my arm, and this is going to be my last set of ribbon. Now, again, this was from Dollar Tree and it was the fall ribbon, but you guys could always just use buffalo check plaid ribbon. They have it at Walmart, they have it at Hobby Lobby. Pretty much everywhere has buffalo check plaid ribbon. Even I think Dollar General has it. Okay, so find again your center. You can make the little notch, and then you can just tie it off with a pipe cleaner. So you're just going to layer these all together, and this is going to create that big, beautiful Olivia bow that you're going to use as a tree topper. Have fun with it. Take a deep breath. It doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. I promise you, keep trying. Now, listen, I have been addicted to the Easy Bow Maker. So if you've been using your Easy Bow Maker, you can easily make a Christmas tree topper with the Easy Bow Maker. So go for that as well. Now, here's the fun part. The part that I love is to fluff your bow out. Again, more awkward mom dancing or fun and fabulous dancing for the holidays. Jam out, put on some music, and have fun with this. But really pull out all of your notches in your ribbon, because that is going to fluff your bow. Lots and lots of fluffing. That is a key to your bows. I love big bows, and I cannot lie. You have got to fluff your bow. Pull out all those ribbon loops. That's really going to give your bow that standout wow factor that you really, really want. And then you're just going to take that pipe cleaner and tie your bow on. Now, see, here's what I'm talking about. Even after I fluffed my bow, I'm going to fluff it some more. And there's your big plume on top with your poinsettias. And then you can even go in and add more picks to the top of that. You guys know me, I love to go totally over the top. This is how I do my trees, but you guys do you. Here's the other tip I have for you. These are just ideas for how you might want to do your tree, but use your creative eye, which I know you guys have one, and use the colors that you love. So instead of using this buffalo check plaid, use pinks, use purples, use blues and silvers and champagnes. You don't have to do my colors. You guys can use the same style, but just use your colors. Now, Dollar Tree is also carrying pine cone picks. Who knew? They're really getting high end, you guys. So add some pine cone picks, add some berries. They're carrying these beautiful champagne berries. You can add glam into your farmhouse, which I absolutely love. Now, I'm going in with more Dollar Tree ornaments. I'm telling you guys, I used all Dollar Tree supplies on this tree, minus some Walmart poinsettia picks that I add on the end. I'll tell you what, I have had the best time decorating this tree. Christmas is my jam. I love decorating. You guys know me, I love decorating, period, but I love decorating for Christmas. I could honestly do a Christmas tree for every single style. Here's another fun thing that Walmart is putting out. They're putting out these cute little curly Q ting things. Now, for some reason, they're $1.48, and their poinsettia little clips are only 98 cents. I don't know why. Maybe the little curly Q things are harder to make, but grab some of those. They just really make a huge difference and a really big impact. So, I just sprinkled a couple of the poinsettias throughout this tree, and it really helped all of this buffalo check plaid colors come together. So truly, this tree was very, very budget friendly. And I can almost guarantee if you guys wanted to try this look, it would be so easy to do because I know the majority of you all probably already have some of these colors on hand. Now, here's a little trick. Grab a really inexpensive piece of fabric. This is just this checkerboard fabric. It's from Hobby Lobby. I believe it was maybe $6 for about a yard and a half or 2 yards. This is just some Amazon boxes that I wrapped in some gift wrap. And then these are some Dollar Tree DIYs. Go check out the rest of my I Love Christmas series. You guys, we have done almost 40 Dollar Tree DIYs just for the 2020 season alone. I'm going to link a huge I Love Christmas series playlist down below. It's going to take you through hundreds, and I mean hundreds of Dollar Tree DIYs and Christmas decorating, fall decorating, so many different ideas for you guys to do on a budget. Listen, I know so many of you guys may be on a budget this season, or you just want to do designer inspired looks and have money left over to spend on your loved ones. So you can make your home fabulous. And I love to share with you guys so many things. I know so many of you guys have been telling me too, you're coming together and decorating with your friends and family, or you're doing projects with your loved ones. So I just want to encourage you guys, have fun with it, keep up the good work. And crafting is also really good for your mental health. I want to share with you guys how to jazz up one of those Dollar Tree ho 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 Santa signs. So we're just going to take a Sharpie marker. This is super easy, you guys, and you're going to draw lines down the front of the little Santa hat. There's even kind of some little grooves you guys can see that you can follow along really easy, and you just got to draw one little line down the center. Now I'm taking some black acrylic paint and this little paintbrush. This is a smaller tip paintbrush. I get all of my paintbrushes at Walmart or Dollar Tree, and we're just going to paint. I just used one coat of acrylic paint, and I'm going to paint in the little lines, and I'm going to go every other one to create that Mackenzie Childs checkerboard look. Now, I will tell you that there is a layer of glitter on this Santa hat, and I didn't do anything to remove the glitter. I just painted right over it. The part of the Santa hat is a bit of a sponge, and it absorbed that acrylic paint just fine. So I didn't have any trouble with it. I just painted right on it, and it just turned out perfectly. I was really surprised. I thought I was going to have to scrub the glitter off and all that good stuff, but you guys know me. I love a bit of glitter, sparkle, and shine. Now, I usually love to drag a bit of white and gold through my Mackenzie Childs checks. I will tell you that the white and gold did not drag through how I usually like it to, so you may just want to skip that step. Now, I am taking this gold Deco art paint pen. You guys can get these at the craft store. You can order them online. You can skip this step. You can also get a gold paint pen at Dollar Tree, believe it or not. So this is just a little extra added detail step. It does make your work look a little bit nicer, and if you're like me and your hand can kind of wobble around, it does help clean up those lines really nice and neat and give it that detailed finish. But it's up to you. Again, you guys, you could also use a bit of gold paint, but I will tell you that this Deco Art, it's called Deco Art Premium Paint Pen. It gives a really nice finish. But again, you guys just go for it. Have fun with it. So thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and an honor to have you all here. And I just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas from my family to yours. I hope you guys are staying cozy and having a beautiful, blessed day. And I just want to encourage you all to keep up the good work, crafting and decorating and plugging in those glue guns and making beautiful things for your home and your friends and your family. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a teeny tiny budget. I would love to have you guys join my little crafty decor family over here on YouTube. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, punch that bell. It will update you guys every time I post a new video, and I do post 3 videos a week with tons of DIY, decorating, a little bit of baking, and some tidying along the way. I also would love to have you guys join me over on my Facebook page. I have an Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page, and I post DIYs over there, as well as I have a group page if you guys want to socialize and connect with other crafty decor friends, and you're brave enough to share pictures of your crafty decor projects that have been inspired by me or that you're just working on. Pop over to the Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page, and you can request to join. It's a free group page. It's totally just for crafting and decorating. I'd love to have you guys over there. Now, I also have an Olivia's Romantic Home Instagram page where I do share behind the scenes sneak peeks of all of my little DIY projects, as well as all the crazy things that my puppy dog Benji Bear and Tinky the cat are up to. And I share a good morning cup of coffee with you all every morning. I also have an Olivia's Romantic Home TikTok. What? I'm not sure that I'll be doing any crazy dances, but hey, you guys know I do like to dance, and I do some dancing while I'm bow making. It is really awkward mom dancing, trust me. But I am going to be sharing DIYs over on my TikTok. So I love y'all to the moon and back. I'm hugging all of your hearts so tight. I'm wishing you a gorgeous, fabulous, blessed Merry Christmas. I have a whole new series coming up of crafting and decorating. So get ready, stock up on glue sticks, stock up on glitter and paint, because we are going to craft and decorate our way into the new year. I can't wait for the next video. And until then, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. Until then, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.